What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So one of the things I've always wanted to do since I made my BMW 335 more powerful with full bolt-ons, and really upping the horsepower on it, is to make the suspension and handling match that. So one of the things that I've decided to do was to buy this. Now I bought this from an eBay seller called M Parts Worldwide, and this is the M3 strut brace, and they sent it to me in little individual packages inside of a bigger one, so everything came really well wrapped up. And so really excited about this. I'm really ready to see if this makes any difference. Basically the difference is this is going to bolt to multiple spots on the strut tower instead of just one place, and not get rid of the little flimsy black bars that were there on the stock one that's shared by the 335 and the 328, while the M3 gets these much more sturdy, I guess they're a different material. I don't know. I'll look into that, see if I can find anything out about that, but let's go ahead and get into this and put these on the car. So the first step is to get the old black bar out of the way. So start by using an E14 to get the bar disconnected from the strut tower brace. Next, take a flathead screwdriver, remove the plastic cover, and then you're going to use an E18 to get it out. If it is tight, use a breaker bar. I had an oil catch can, so I had to get that off with 3mm Allen keys. The new one bar doesn't quite fit with the old attachment, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. Probably zip tie it up for the time being until I can figure out a new method. Now pull the old bars out. They should just slide out with the bolts removed. As you can see, they just kind of overlap each other, and they only have one connection to the strut tower. The new ones have 3 separate connections, as you'll see shortly. Now remove the 3 13mm that connect the strut tower to the body of the car. You're going to need these later, so hold on to them. Now you can set the new one in, and it should rest. They'll only go one on each side, so you can't possibly get them in the wrong spot. And then just finger tight the bolts that are provided. They're going to have like a little piece that comes off the bottom. They'll look different than any other bolts, and they're the only ones that can fit there. As you can see, this is what they look like. Do this for both sides. Now remove the 10mm bolts that hold the piece that will connect to the middle piece of the strut brace. I don't know what you call it. When I pull it out, I'll show you what it looks like, and just undo. There'll be 2 10mm bolts. It looks like there's a spot for a third in the middle, but my car didn't have it. Lift up the plastic, and you just kind of have to wiggle the piece out. It's not going to want to come out easily, but if you just kind of pull it down and out, it will come out. Removing the weather strip also will help you out. Just have a little patience with it and it will come out. As you can see, this is the old piece here. Now mine came with another one, so I didn't have to bother to put the M3 bar in, but I think otherwise you'll have to figure out how to get that in. Now to get the piece with the M3 strut bar in, I found it was a lot easier to remove the passenger side windshield wiper. You're able to pull it up a lot higher because you have to kind of clear a piece of the firewall. And once again, just kind of have some patience working it in, and eventually you can just get it in and it'll slide right into place. Then go ahead and tighten it down. And then put the windshield wiper back. This is a 16mm bolt, by the way. And for the M3 strut piece in the middle, you'll use the same bolt that you took out to remove the factory strut tower brace. Now go ahead and put the new one on. Connect both ends of the strut tower brace using the bars provided. Go ahead and bolt it together, just finger tight all around. Once everything is finger tight, go ahead and start tightening it up. Don't over tighten it, just go around and put everything to about hand tight, and then come back around and tighten it down further. Once you tighten all the bolts, the first bolts you've tightened will have become much looser, and by the time you get back around the second time, everything will need to be tightened again. So guys, this was a really simple DIY. It was, it probably would have been a little bit harder, but I already have the cowl filter delete, and this bar should be much more sturdy and provide for less body roll, and just make for a better driving experience. And I will report back on my experience with it. And on top of that, it just looks better. I mean, look at that right there. I mean, the silver, it stands out, and there's a reason the M engineers decided the M3 needed a higher end piece.